All right, folks, we are live. We're live. All right. This is, I am Brian, and this is the Organization of Transparency and Merit. This is Transparency and Merit. I'm just going to go just real quick and just copy and paste my show. The only reason I'm doing that is so I can put it on my Facebook later on, just because something that I kind of want to do. I'll do that right now, as a matter of fact. And it takes a while for it to load, so bear with me, folks. Bear with me just a little bit while I do that. While I just go in and I just want to spread this thing around just a little bit here. Hopefully it'll allow me to do that. I just like to do it before I start the show, and for whatever reason, it works best this way. And then I'm going to go to Minds as well. Hopefully Minds will let me do it. It didn't allow me to do it last time. I don't know why. To post, speak my mind. It takes a while, and post. Allowing me to post. It looks like it posted. Okay, it looks like it posted there too. All right, folks. This is this is Brian with Transparency and Merit. The title of the show is Stoic Calm, Part 1, Battling the Woke Left. And I'm going to go into a few things here. Right now, it kind of seems like the establishment is with the woke left. So it doesn't really bother me is that I have family members that are in the intolerant, what I consider to be the intolerant woke left. What bothers me is the establishment is behind the woke left, and they do seem to have a lot of power, and I don't like that. But on a Stoic sense, like, there have been things unfair throughout history, and there's not a lot of diplomacy going on right now. There's not a lot of discussion going on right now. And I for the life of me, I'm not getting inside the heads or why that is. I have a few ideas, but it's basically just speculation on why this is happening at the rate it's happening. I mean, overnight, Black Lives Matter was, given legitimacy when it had lost a lot of legitimacy. All of the legitimacy that Black Lives Matter had lost over the couple of years, because some of the stories that they were championing. I'm getting the mouth that they were champions of, had kind of been to a degree debunked, and were found to be like kind of false. And now it seems with the George Floyd situation that overnight, people are bending the knee like they've never bent before. Companies and politicians seem to all be bending the knee to an organization that has Marxist in it, and it is kind of difficult if you're if you're even a moderate. It's a difficult time to be in the Western world right now, and not something that I like. I mean, to a degree, I mean, and if you're dealing with like family members and other people who don't want to listen to any evidence you have, at some point you just gotta like I guess you gotta kind of let that go. I mean, I can only speak for myself. There have been times in my history where I thought I was so right, and I didn't want to listen to anybody or anybody else's reason. And there's a part of me that's still that way. So I can't deny that. I can't deny that to others or be angry at others when I've kind of done the same thing myself to a degree. I just had sugar and I'm diabetic. I mean, I had a couple of cookies. I think a whole like small box of cookies. It's not good for me. I know that intellectually, but on an emotional level, I mean, I don't know if it's on an emotional level or a primal level or, whatever level it is, my appetite for sugar was stronger than my need to be healthy, or my need for sugar was stronger than my need to be healthy. And you know what? I mean, I can say, like, how can these companies bend the knee and this and that? I mean, I don't know what these companies are thinking. I'd like to think that I would be strong and noble and moral, but I don't know how I'm going to be. We're all like in our own, like for me, dude, in my fantasy world, I'm, the most stoic, strong-willed person ever. But in reality, I've never faced anything where like hunger, where like food and this and that is really strong. I mean, I have a big hot dog on. I'm reading some of the statements in Discord, and I got to quit it because it makes noise. So I just quit that Discord screen. Someone said I have a big hot dog on my chest. That's what Dennis said. Maybe do I have a hot dog on my chest, or do I look? Does it look like ketchup? Big ketchup stain? Or like my shirt is a big thing of ketchup, maybe. But I think I'm going to fast tomorrow. I am going to attempt to fast tomorrow, and I might try to break my record. I got a little scared the last time. I lasted about 4 days or 3 days, and then on the fourth day in the morning, I decided to eat. I wasn't feeling good, and I broke my fast. I might try for more days than that. I don't think 70 is that. My blood sugar was about 70, and I think I could have lasted a little bit longer. And I think next time that's just what I'm going to do. I'm going to go more. That's what I'm going to be attempting this Sunday. And Joe and I are going to do a show this Sunday as well. But with some of these leftists, I mean, there are times I want to engage with them, but it's not going to do any good. And it's kind of like it's when you're a young man and you're infatuated with a really hot chick, and you go, hey, love me, why don't you love me? It's like, because she doesn't have to give you a reason. And if they don't want to engage with you, they don't have to engage with you. And hopefully they won't do anything to you to try to hurt you. I've read a few reports of people who spoke their mind, who were somewhat reasonable, being fired. And right now you see people trying to pull sponsorships. And it's like, to a degree, the world has simply, gone rather crazy. And maybe it is. Maybe the world, and it won't be the first time. Won't be the first time, it won't be the last. And my thing is, right now, I want to fast. I want to see how much I can control of my food, because I am addicted to food. And if somebody said I couldn't eat, or I had to bend the knee, on my prideful side, I would say, "Oh, I'll starve first. I'll die before I give in to this or that." But in reality, it would become between me having to eat, and if I had children, which I don't, but if it became between my family and my children having to eat, it's probably things I would probably bend the knee to, just because that's the financial bottom line. And again, I don't know if these companies are doing it because they're afraid or if they actually believe it. There's some companies that I believe that they believe it and they don't want to hear a word otherwise, and that seems unfair. But throughout history, people have been unfair to each other. People have been unjust, and they think they're absolutely and totally in the right. And they can pervert your character as though you're more than one thing. Even if you're a racist, you're more than one thing. I remember that in the movie Anatomy of a Murder. The Jimmy Stewart character says, a man is more than one thing. America is more than one thing. The West is more than one thing. And there are many sides to all of humanity and people, and even sides about yourself. There are sides about myself I probably don't even recognize. Anyway, I don't know how well this is going to come across or anything like that. I was just kind of shooting from the hip a little bit, and basically I'm going to try to fast again, and I'll probably do a volume 2 tomorrow before I go to work, and then I believe that Joe and I are going to do a show Sunday night around 8 o'clock. I think we're going to talk about, it's going to be an adult topic, so it's going to be about strip clubs. But it's not how you think. It's about the economy of it, and there's kind of this wokeness. There's a story of wokeness in strip clubs. I'm not going to give too much away yet. Joe and I will be talking about that. If Joe wants to give it away in the chat room later on or anything like that, he can, but I'm not going to give too much away. But it will be a rather interesting subject, and I hope you all will absolutely enjoy it. Anyway, for me, my advice for a Stoic person to deal with a woke leftist, and I don't think it's possible, to be honest with you, to be a woke leftist and to be Stoic. I don't think the two go hand in hand, because woke leftism is based on basically emotion. For me, anyway, how I deal with it, or how I try to deal with it the best way I can, because I have a few woke leftists in my family. A lot of times, just to ignore it. You're not going to gain anything. If they don't want to, if there are subjects they don't want to talk about, what good does it do to even bring up your side? Unless unless you don't care and you want to lose them, because a lot of them will defriend you and this and that. I mean, I post what I want on my Facebook, and I don't get really anything said. But I've been told, don't bring your opinion here. Your opinion's not wanted here. And do I like it? No. Do I wish? Do I wish I could have a conversation? Sure. But on average, that's not going to happen. The censorship is pretty bad. It seems like only one side of the story is being told. But things have happened in the past that have been pretty bad. So my thing is, try to engage whenever you can. And hopefully, and I haven't engaged anyone, but hopefully there are more reasonable, rational people than there are unreasonable people. But it feels like right now, it does feel like, at least with regards to the establishment, it's gone completely unreasonably woke. So if there's anyone listening to this, I'm going to end this show right now. If there's anyone listening, please give a thumbs up if you like it. Even give a thumbs down if you don't. But leave a comment on why you don't like it. Really kind of appreciate that. Anyway, love me. I'm only kidding. You don't have to love me. You don't have to hate me. Well, if you want to hate me, that's fine too. I don't think I'm hated by anybody anymore, but it's probably because I don't know too many people anymore than I used to. But there were people that hated me back in the day, and I hated them right back, and it wasn't very productive. So I try not to look for arguments and fights. I like to have discussions, but arguments and fights is something I don't like having. Anyway, have a good day. And like I said, subscribe if you haven't already. And like the show and share it if you found this to be informative. If not, that's fine too. Thank you and have a good day.